23rd City Council meeting, and this evening I'm going to ask Hannah from Troop 2019 to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much. Okay, public comment period. Is there anyone from the public that would like to address the City Council in reference to items not on the agenda?
My name's
Evening.
Craig Cook, and I live at 4 Ridgewood Avenue, Lewiston. And I'm wondering if they're gonna tar that road. It's been like 20 to 25 or 30 years. And I had a lot of problems that last rainstorm.
Okay. And what road did you say, sir?
Ridgewood Avenue.
Okay, so what we can do is have maybe Public Works reach out, and he can discuss the list that we have for the roads and see where your road might lie.
Okay.
Anyone from staff want to add to that?
Yeah, you want to get his contact?
Contact number is 7844.
Okay, all roll call votes for this meeting will begin with the counselor from Ward 5.
There's an area where
That's correct.
Okay.
I will warn everybody, Kathy is obviously, as you know, tied up tonight. So you're in my less than capable hands trying to take her place.
All right, good. So we have somebody to blame. That's the key, and it's not the mayor's fault. Okay, agenda item number 1.
Item number 1 is public hearing on a new application for a new liquor license for Station Grill, 103 Lincoln Street. Requested action is to authorize the city clerk's office to approve a new liquor license application for Station Grill, 103 Lincoln Street.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilor Ray, seconded by Councilor LaJoy, and I'll open this up to any public comment. Okay, back to the council. If not, call the roll.
Counselor from Ward 5,
Yes.
Ward 6,
Yes.
Ward 7,
Yes.
Ward 1,
Yes.
Ward 2,
Yes.
Ward 3,
Yes.
and Ward 4.
Yes.
Okay, agenda item number 2.
Item number 2 is an order approving the establishment of the 197-199 Lisbon Street Scruton Block Tax Increment Financing District and Program, and approval of a designation of a tax increment financing district and credit enhancement agreement. First part of this will be to open and hold a public hearing on the proposed Scruton Block Tax Increment Financing District and Programming.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilor LaJoy, seconded by Councilor Jelinas. Any questions or comments from the council?
Is that motion to open a public hearing or a motion on the approval of establishment?
First, we have the public hearing, then we'll come back and do the motion on the...
So no
the
motion is
motion is
needed
to
for the
open the
public
public hearing.
Okay, so I missed you. I didn't hear you saying public hearing. So will the motion still stand, though, as it is, even after the public hearing?
What I'd do is I'd go ahead and use that motion as to
Okay.
open the public hearing, and then we can do is start over again.
All right, so we'll open this up for the public hearing. Are there any comments from the public? Okay, if not, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion.
Councilor Joy, seconded by Councilor Jelinas.
Yes.
And that is a motion to approve the establishment of the 197-199 Lisbon Street Scruton Block Tax Increment Financing District and Program, and approve a designation of a tax increment financing district and credit enhancement agreement.
All right, any questions or comments from the council? Councilor Ray?
Just comment that I am excited to support this. It will be within Ward 3's districting line, so very excited to have this come online.
Okay, any other questions, comments? Councilor Jensen?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just want to second the comments by Councilor Ray. It's going to be a nice addition to the downtown area, nice upgrade, and definitely something in the best interest of the city.
Okay. Any other questions, comments? If not, we'll call the roll.
Counselor from Ward 5,
Yes.
Ward 6,
Yes.
Ward 7,
Yes.
Ward 1,
Yes.
Ward 2,
Yes.
Ward 3,
Yes.
and Ward 4.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Okay, agenda item number 3.
Item number 3, order approving the establishment of the Valley Beverage Tax Increment Financing District and Program and approval of a designation of a tax increment financing district and credit enhancement agreement. First item would be for the mayor to open and hold a public hearing on the proposed on the proposed Valley Beverage Tax Increment Financing District and Program.
Oh, I see, you're calling me out, huh?
I thought I'd help out a little bit.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor, I would move that we open for public hearing.
All right, do we need a motion to open the public hearing?
You don't really need to, I think you can just call
Yeah.
it for open.
So we're going to open up the public hearing in reference to this agenda item. Are there any comments from the public? Okay. We'll close the public hearing, and I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
As presented.
As presented, yes, Mr.
All
Mayor.
right, moved by Councilor Clement, seconded by Councilor Jelinas. Any questions or comments from the council?
Mr. Mayor, this is in Ward 6. I have personally visited the place, and I am pleased to be able to say that I wholeheartedly support this particular item, and will vote in the affirmative on it.
Thank you. Any other councilors have questions or comments? If not, call the roll.
Counselor from Ward 5,
Yes.
Ward 6,
Yes.
Ward 7,
Yes.
Ward 1,
Yes.
Ward 2,
Yes.
Ward 3,
Yes.
Ward 4.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Okay, agenda item number 4.
Item number 4, order authorizing the city administrator to execute an amendment to the option agreement between the City of Lewiston and Bates Mill LLC. Requested action to approve the order authorizing the city administrator to execute an amendment to the option agreement between the City of Lewiston and Bates Mill LLC.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Councilor Ray, seconded by Councilor LaJoy. Any questions or comments from the council?
Mr. Mayor, I think there is a public misperception out there, based on some communication I've had, that we are lengthening the option agreement with this. That was a question that was asked directly of me yesterday. Why are you adding to the period of the option when, in fact, this is not what it is doing? And I think that the public ought to be aware of the fact that this is just, shall we say, rearranging some language to clarify things that will hopefully make it easier for the city to bring this whole thing to fruition.
All right, thank you. And I think before we continue, we'll let Link maybe do a brief presentation.
Yes, and I think Councilor Clement really captured it. This agreement was structured to, originally it was a 3-year option. In the last year of the option, if somebody else came forward with a fully developed plan that was financed with tenants and everything else, they would be able to ask Tom Platts to step out of the way, and the council could take that. I think the likelihood of that happening, I know Tom has been working very hard for quite a few years to pull this together, and he's very close at this point. But nevertheless, that threat was within the option agreement. As we started looking at how to fix that, and realizing that we also just got a $500,000 EPA brownfield cleanup grant for this mill, the city needs to own it during the time the cleanup is occurring. So to Councilor Clement's point, the option is not being extended. It's just the order that at this point, Tom can exercise the option if you approve this. Tom would be able to exercise the option, and the closing, rather than happening 30 days after he exercised the option, which is the way it's currently written, it would be that he needs to close within 30 days of getting approval from the Maine DEP that all the cleanup had been done appropriately. So it's really not, it's just, as you say, shifting it. I think, was there one other item, I think, on that?
Well, the other item that is addressed is that one of the requirements of the option agreement is that we have worked through a joint development agreement. We have been working on that. It's not yet finalized, so basically we're just indicating that that has to be done before the closing date. So in addition to dealing with the fact that we have to own the building while we do the cleanup, we're also ensuring that there would be a development agreement negotiated and in place prior to closing on the property.
Okay. Any questions or comments to the public? Yes, sir. If you could just state your name and if you're a
Kwaku.
Lewiston resident.
Kwakuban, 62 Riverside, Lewiston.
Thank you.
Is it the DEP that requires the city of Lewiston to own it while the cleanup is going on?
It's the federal government Department of Environmental Protection. It's a brownfield grant from the federal government.
Which states in there that the city has to,
That's correct. We can only access that grant and spend it on a property that the city owns.
okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions or comments from the public? Back to the council. Call the roll.
Counselor from Ward 5,
Yes.
Ward 6,
Yes.
Ward 7,
Yes.
Ward 1,
Yes.
Ward 2,
Yes.
Ward 3,
Yes.
Ward 4.
Yes.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Agenda item number 5 is reports and updates. Councilor Ray.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The school committee met last night. Two very exciting things happened. We heard a presentation from Next Step High, which is our alternative program that's taking place at the Longley School currently. Some really exciting data and results coming out of that program, and it's a second-year pilot. It is a partnership with Tree Street Youth, and I'm not remembering a ton of other details right now, but there was a student who improved her attendance rate from 18% last year to 82% this year. And so there is a huge effect happening, and it's a really great program, so I'm excited to hear where they're going even further. The other very exciting part is we got our budget presented to us last night. So we are looking at a base, so basically our contractual obligations increase of 3.3%, and then additional requests from the superintendent would be 2.39% for a total of 5.7% increase over this year. Our budget will be presented by article this year, which is a little different from past years. It was presented by directors and site administrators in the past, and so we start that tomorrow night in depth, and I will report back with things that come up for our parking lot items, as well as any progress we make in bringing the tax rate down.
Okay, thank you, Councilor Ray. Any other reports or updates?
Mr. Mayor, just one quick reminder that we do have a joint meeting with the school committee to review or at least get a preliminary view of the budget on the 16th of March.
Okay, thank you. I just have one item. On Thursday, I'm going to be attending with several other mayors with the Mayor's Coalition. I'm going to travel to Augusta and support the governor's recommended budget item as it relates to general purpose aid for education. It's a 1% increase in the budget, so I'm pretty comfortable supporting that minimal increase for our schools. Any other questions or comments? Okay, I'll entertain any other business councilors or others may have relating to the city government. Councilor Jensen.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just one, I was actually wondering if we could start another conversation about a smoking ban. And so when I drive home, I tend to go by the library, and I've noticed that people aren't smoking on Lisbon Street, but they go right on Pine Street, right next to it. It's a very unpleasant sight. I probably wouldn't want kids walking by it. So I would like to increase that up Pine Street a bit so that the entire library area falls under that no smoking purview.
So that's a good point. I was walking by the library today to visit a couple of businesses on Lisbon Street, and there were probably a dozen people out there. Terrible language, and right in front of me were two young ladies, school age. They had to walk through that cloud of smoke and then the language that was going on there. On my way back, I planned on stopping to speak with the director, but there was law enforcement there at that point dealing with it, so somebody also had a concern about that. So, Ed, can you just get back to Councilor Jensen at some point about how we would go through that process?
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anything else?
Mr. Mayor, I would
Councilor
like to
Khalid.
move to enter into an executive session regarding a legal matter.
Second.
Moved by Councilor Khalid, seconded by Councilor Ray. All in favor? Thank you very much, folks, for attending the meeting.